Yeah, it's good. It's a great opportunity going against, Jordan, and then obviously our whole receiver group. We got a great group, so it's just good going against those guys every day. Getting the best work within the week. So when it comes to the game, it's pretty much I done seen everything. We got big receivers. We got shifty receivers. We got fast receivers. So just getting those looks, during practice and spring is gonna be huge for me when the season comes.
We've got the one, the only CB1 for Arizona State, Keith Abney, with us now. Keith, welcome back to the PHNX Sun Devils show, man. I feel like the last time that we had you on this show, I think we had you and Montana Warren when you guys first committed to Arizona State some time ago. How do you feel like you've grown, and what's changed for you from that time to obviously now?
I just grown a lot, just, learned a lot within my first 2 years of college, and I'm just grateful to be here. I'm glad I made that decision to come here. It's one of the best decisions I've made so far in my life.
Has it sunk in yet, the fact that the team that you play for went from predicted to be last in the conference to Big 12 champions? Because you hear people talk about it all the time, but then once the dust settles, you look back and go man, we really did something special.
Yeah, it do sink in. It did sink in. It's just I just look at it as we just gotta go back to work so we can get back and achieve those goals and not fall short this time.
Yeah, repeat as Big 12 champions. Obviously, the goal making it further in the college football playoff. For you, just what was that experience like being in the college football playoff? Obviously, a lot of discussion nationally for Arizona State when we were talking about getting to the playoff is, hey, Arizona State hasn't seen a team like a Texas, like a Notre Dame, like a Bama. And then for you to be able to play in that game as well as you did, just what was that experience like going up against some of the best in the nation?
It was a great experience just knowing that all the work that we put in all season was just it kind of we finally got to display it on a national level for real. We just got to go out there and do our thing. Obviously we didn't get the result we wanted, but I feel like people know what the Arizona State Sun Devils was about last year. So it was a good experience just to go out there and go showcase what we can do for sure.
Everybody that we talk to talks about getting better, right? It doesn't matter what you did last year. It matters what you're going to be doing next. How does this team get better from last season to next season?
We just really just last season, we just that's out the window now. None of that matters no more. We on to the next season, getting better. We just coming to work every day, showing up to work every day, having fun, working harder than anybody in the country. Just coming to work, trying to get better every day, taking coaching. We working hard with Coach Joe right now. So he got us on the right program, getting us bigger, stronger, and faster. So we just taking it one day at a time, one step at a time, and just coming to work every day.
A lot of the times people look at the product on the field, they look at the highlight plays, whatever you're doing, and they think, oh, that's the work, right? But what they don't see is the countless hours you put in the off season. And like you said, getting your body right. How important is the attention to detail in those small things in the off season to translate to you making plays on Saturdays?
I look at it just, you never know when, these we push today we did sleds and stuff like that. It's just the little things I feel like that, coming together, building your brothers up while they pushing the sled, telling people don't bend over, things like that. I feel like little things like that just add up to, building team chemistry and coming together. And then we always got a motto. I was just thinking about this other day. We got a motto when we working out, two more. Let's say we sprinting 10 yards, we're gonna finish 2 yards past the line, stuff like that. We say two more with a lot of things, and it was crazy that our season came down to two extra quarters.
Yeah.
It was just crazy. So little stuff like that, we just look at the all season. We just trust in Coach Joe and knowing he got the right process for us, and we just trust in the process. We know all the things, the work that we're gonna put in is gonna help us within the season.
It feels like over the course of the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years, I guess, at this point. You can look back to Arizona State wide receiver ones and DB ones going at it in practice, right? You got N'Keal Harry, Chase Lucas. You got Elijah Badger, Ro Torrance. And now you got Keith Abney and Jordan Tyson. Just what's it like for you being able to have that iron sharpens iron going up against what some people view as one of the best wide receivers in college football?
Yeah, it's good. It's a great opportunity going against, Jordan, and then obviously our whole receiver group. We got a great group, so it's just good going against those guys every day. Getting the best work within the week. So when it comes to the game, it's pretty much I done seen everything. We got big receivers. We got shifty receivers. We got fast receivers. So just getting those looks, during practice and spring is gonna be huge for me when the season comes.
All right, but here's the real question. You two switch roles, okay? You're wide receiver. Tyson's trying to lock you down. Who's winning?
He can't guard me. He can't guard me,
Hey,
man.
you're willing to put that to the test.
Yes, I am. I
Oh,
am.
man. Love it. Absolutely love it. Look, obviously, a good chunk of this defense is coming back at all three levels. One piece that you are missing is Shamari Simmons headed to the NFL. So it does feel like there is a little bit of a hole at that nickel corner spot just until somebody is promoted to that starter role, whether it be Montana Warren, maybe one of the transfers, or maybe either you or Javin. Has there been any conversation with you and the coaching staff about potentially moving you from outside to that nickel spot, or are you sitting pretty at where you're at?
We haven't really had no conversation about that yet, but you never know when the spring ball comes. But as of right now, we got guys. We got Montana Warren. We brought in a couple transfers. Then you got Kyan. So we got a couple guys. I feel like gonna step up big in that role.
How do you feel like in your current role, right? Let's say you stick to the same position and over the last year, where has Keith Abney grown the most?
I just say just the details. Coach Carrington and Coach Walker just always preaching us just perfecting the details, just being very meticulous with our technique and all of our things that we're doing. Just film study, just small things. I feel like I've really been trying to improve that, and I feel like I did improve that my sophomore year, and I'm just gonna keep just trying to build it on top of that. Just keep stacking, keep stacking, and keep stacking.
Yeah, I think that's something, again, from watching you as a freshman to the jump that you made sophomore year. I mean, Eric can attest to it. When we saw you in spring last year, you looked like a totally different player, totally different corner. Obviously, with the focus in the weight room, the body, the playbook, all that type of stuff. And now you've got a guy opposite you, right, in Javin Robinson, who it feels like you two have really come into your own last season at the tail end, playing teams like an Iowa State who had 2,000-yard receivers, being able to contain them, do what you did with Quinn Ewers in that Texas offense as well. Just what's the relationship and the dynamic between you and Javin?
It's crazy. Me and J Rod, well Javin, we got like close. We started getting like real close, like Camp T for real. That's when we started like locking in and just it's like a brother to me for real. We just always talking about our goals and stuff like that. We always, just watching film. We play the game together, stuff like that. So me and him, we real close, and I'm glad to have him on the other side. We always just building off each other. I always tell him he the only person that like on like during games like J Rob, he the talker for real. So when I see him talk, that's what get me going for real. Like just stuff like that. So yeah, J Rob, shout out to J Rob. He's just a person that can get me going for real, and I'm glad to have him.
How much does that help you knowing that when you're out on the field, not only can you trust Javin from a football perspective, but from a personal perspective, like you just feel comfortable out there with him?
It's major just knowing like when you have a real relationship with your teammates. I feel like that's what makes this team so special that we actually have real bonds like outside of the football. Like we always hanging out, guys always going out to eat, stuff like that. So I feel like a lot of teams don't have that, and I feel like that's something that we've been doing, and we're trying to build with the new guys, just building those relationships and trust with the new guys. So it's great just having real relationships and being able to trust people on the field.
100%. Look, last question from me, Keith, and we'll go ahead and get you out of here. Obviously, we brought it up earlier. The jump that you had from your freshman season to your sophomore season, you made just leaps and bounds. For you, what specifically do you want to focus in on this offseason, this spring ball, to try and improve your game for 2025?
I would say specifically, I got a couple things. I'm trying to pick one for you. I'm gonna say just perfecting my technique. Like I feel like your technique can always get better, so I'm just gonna just all the little things to just perfecting my technique, my footwork, and just try to be a technician. I feel like I want that to be like when after spring ball, I want people to cut on my film and be like, okay, yeah, he's been working on this. He's been working on his technique. I just want that. That's one thing I want to show in the spring ball.
Last one from me. Do you have a favorite moment of the past season? It doesn't have to be a play, but just a specific time that you look back on and you're like, man, that was the time, man. That was the best.
Anytime he pulls up the jersey, man, that's 100%.
I'll say when we probably when we won the Big 12 championship at home and with all my family members and friends there. So that was a great moment for real. I'm probably remember that for a long time. So that's probably my favorite moment from the past season. Just winning the Big 12 championship in my hometown in front of all my family and friends and with my brothers. So yeah, that was a great moment for me.
Look, I'm sure you're not alone in that sentiment. I know there's a lot of Arizona State fans that hope to see you guys repeat in 2025 as Big 12 champions and head to the college football playoff once again. Again, Arizona State's CB1, Keith Abney. Keith, we appreciate you taking the time today, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you for having me.